the business pages of the newspapers and some farm newspapers and magazines have had articles lately about EPA considering a tax per cow, and a very high level of taxation that any farmer reading it would wonder who in Washington, D.C., what planet did they come from that they would come up with tax of $40, $50, $60 per cow because of the EPA regulations on methane gas. Well, I don't want to say that that's not something to worry about, but right now we're in a process where no rules have been written, but there's been publications put out by EPA to start conversation and get reaction to these proposals that might be out there sometime in actual rules. And so this gives people an opportunity to comment, and I hope farmers just load down EPA with a lot of letters and complaints and recommendations that this is going to ruin the livestock industry in the United States if EPA would move ahead, so that they never come forth with the rules that a lot of farmers feel are right around the corner, because such rules could be around the corner. Now, I know it doesn't meet the common sense test, but a lot of things in Washington coming out of EPA don't meet the common sense test. As you know, the fugitive dust rules, where the dust coming from the combine or the dust coming from the Christ Rock Road is supposed to stay within the property lines, just like wind doesn't blow, but wind does happen, and only God controls the wind, not the farmer. So we have rules like that that are already prospective. So thinking about a tax on cows is a real possibility. So get your comments into EPA, but I want you to know that the rules aren't out there yet, but they could be. So we're not dealing with real rules yet. We're just dealing with discussions about such rules and a process in place that could lead to such rules. But put a damper on it by telling the bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. at the Environmental Protection Agency that that's not the real world, that no farmer can afford that sort of a tax, and that sort of a tax is not even legitimate rulemaking. Now, in the final analysis, if such rules would come, you can count on my fighting those rules just like I have the dust rules.